The Pain in Our Head podcast contains themes of coarse language, adult themes, and the discussion of mental health themes. Some content may be emotionally challenging. If you or someone you know is at risk, please visit the description for mental health and suicide prevention contacts. Enjoy the show. What's going on, everyone? Caleb here.
Howdy, I'm Christian.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Pain in Our Head podcast. What? What did I say this time?
Nothing. It didn't work this time, so I got nothing to bitch about.
Hey, go on. You always have something to bitch about. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, wherever you are listening, however you are consuming this. We were talking earlier today. I'm going to bring it up because I feel it's really weird. We're talking earlier today. Christian, he puts his toilet paper on the roll and he's an under. If you know what I mean by that, he does it the wrong way. For me, when you put the toilet paper on the roll, it should go over.
So, like, you're saying that the toilet paper, like the bit that you grab, should be closest to you and not the wall.
Yeah, over the top. Yeah.
Man, it must fucking hurt to be so wrong all the time.
Doesn't hurt at all. It's actually really effective.
It looks neater, like, to be tucked away towards the wall.
Sometimes you can't find it, and then you got to go looking for it, and there's more movement. It's a very delicate process.
Have trouble finding it and need to go looking for it, like.
Not usually.
Don't know.
Because I've got it going over, so it's usually right there. Anyway, I spend way too much time with the toilet, scrolling on my phone, sending memes, looking at memes, and
sending
Instagram
you reels
crap. Yeah, it's a problem I have. I would almost go as far as to say it's a bit of an addiction.
Well done. Good segue. I feel like you never sent really many memes until we started the podcast and you actually became an active participant in social media. And now I'm just absolutely bombed by reels all the time.
Well, there's something you got to know. I do send a lot of memes to people, but I only have select people that I will send them to. So you gotta get to that point in the friendship, I think, and you definitely hit that point. So congratulations. You're now privileged enough to receive memes from me while I'm sitting on the toilet, mind you, because half the time when I'm sending memes, most of the time, if you're getting a meme from me, I want you to know I'm probably sitting on the toilet.
I feel like this is a good time to address like a topic here. Like we've spoken about toilet paper and toilets, so let's just hit it. Do you scrunch or fold?
I'm a folder. Oh, you're a scruncher. Oh, God.
I feel like the more we do these podcasts, the more things I learn about you I don't like.
I don't even know what to say to that. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I changed. I used to be a scruncher.
I used to be a folder.
So, who kicked you in the head? It must have been a real good fucking kick.
Oh, shit. That was good. I'll pay that.
Anyway, addictions. We're going to crack on about addictions today, which is quite a heavy topic. We've got lots to talk about. There's crack. I'm really on it today, hey. I did not write all of this down. This is all just coming to me. So we're going to talk about addictions. It's fantastic. We're going to talk about some awesome songs later on in the podcast. Sorry, I'm laughing because Christian just showed me his song earlier, and I've never seen it, and it made me laugh. And I only watched like 15 seconds of it. So yeah, we've got some great music we're going to talk about. Anyway, let's, as I said before, crack into it. We're going to talk about lots of different addictions. We're going to talk about what those type of addictions are, what they entail, kind of the good, or I guess more or less the bad things about them. And we're going to talk about some experiences with them as well. I know we've both had different experiences with different types of addiction, so we're going to cover off a lot of different sort of topics in that area. The first thing I think we're going to talk about, and it's going to be quite easy for the both of us, is, well, a gaming addiction.
About? We've never been addicted to gaming.
No, I've never seen you play a game. Even when we do play games, I still haven't seen you play a game. So, I know I've had a gaming addiction. I mean, there's been times where I've had a really unhealthy relationship with gaming, and it's like, you cut out everything, the whole world, and you just do nothing but game. You know. Times there where I would go to work, come home, game, and barely go to sleep. Get up in the morning, go to work, rinse, repeat, do it all over again. So I'm going to say the one game I think that I was the most addicted to. This might shock you. I don't know if I've actually told you that I played this game. I think I have, but I was not World of Warcraft. I was not addicted to World of Warcraft. Rocket League. I was madly addicted to Rocket League. Like, seriously addicted. It was bad.
Now he got kicked in the head.
So gaming addictions. They're a tough one to break. Especially, I'm a bit biased because we both really enjoy games. If a good game comes out, I'm going to pump some hours into that shit. Let's talk about like Conan a few months back. Like, didn't I think, what did I do, like 70 hours or something in 7 days? Like, it was an average of 10 hours a day. It was bad. It was really bad. I didn't have a lot of other stuff going on at the time. But I think back and I was like, wow, there was probably so many other things that I could have been doing with my time than playing that. But we had a good time. It was fun.
Yeah, we did. I know we were meant to go through like our game libraries and come up with some game played totals.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't do it, but there's some shockers off the top of my head. Like, I know that I was heavily obsessed, borderline addicted to Dota 2, and I'm like 3,000 hours on that game. So
that's decent.
Yeah, and like, I know for a fact that World of Warcraft that I actually was addicted to, that's gonna top Dota 2 quite easily because I played it for years and years and years. Like, it's disgusting just thinking about it. Like tens of thousands of hours on gaming.
Yep. Yeah. And I guess, why? Why do we do it? I used to try and justify it. You can justify it in any way you want, really, if you want to. But gaming, and for people who do play games, you might not play games, so you might have absolutely no fucking idea what we're talking about, and you might not see the appeal. And that's fine. We're going to talk about some other addictions anyway. But for people who know or do play gaming or are involved in gaming, you might understand that. Well, a reason for me is when you're going through a bad time, like gaming, you can forget about everything. You can forget about everything else that's going on. You can put it all just away. You can put your headphones on and all you have to focus on is what's in front of you. And it's usually something enjoyable, something that you like. You know, you're playing like role-playing type games as well. So, like, yeah, take World of Warcraft, for example. You know, you have your own character. That character's got a name. You create an identity for this particular character, and you become that character. And that was a big part for me. You know, being able to put everything else behind you and not worry about it. But see, that's where it becomes, and we talked about, obviously, we keep bringing them up, coping mechanisms. You know, that's where it becomes, I said it this time, I'm doing well over the last couple of weeks. That's where it becomes, I guess, unhealthy because, you know, it's not helping your problems. Your problems are still going to be there when you take your headphones off. And that as well, right? I always just think about this. That's where the addiction comes in for me, or where it did. Because you know, as soon as you take your headphones off, you've got to then face reality and you've got to go and deal with your shit.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it was a very similar thing. I didn't really address it for a very long time. It wasn't until I met my wife that she was just like, "You're addicted," and I was like, "No, I'm not. I just really enjoy playing games, and it's like how I hang out with my friends." I tried to justify it by like, "Oh, this is me spending time with my friends. Like, what would you rather? Like, do you want me to go to the pub and like drink alcohol on the weekends with them, or would you rather me be at home and play the computer?" And she was like, "Well, you know, if that was all you were doing, like if you were just doing it on the weekends for a couple of hours to hang out with your friends, that'd be fine. But I was going to work, coming straight home, and getting on the computer. And I'd stay on the computer until it was bedtime, and then I'd go to bed and I'd give her a cuddle and go to sleep, wake up, repeat. The weekend would come around and she'd be like, "Oh, would you want to do something?" And I'm like, "Oh, gotta play computer." And yeah, it wasn't until she put it very bluntly that I was like, okay. I was very avoidant of it at first. I was like, no, I don't have an addiction. And then I was like, no, maybe I do. And then I kind of reflected on it, and I was like, why? Why do I want to game so much? And yeah, it was the same thing that you were saying, where all the things that I wasn't happy with, I could just forget about it. And for so many years, like I started gaming when I was a kid, and like I was always restricted in the amount of time I could play. So it was like, you know, you'd have like your 30 minutes or up to an hour of like console time. And then when I moved out to live with my grandparents, I got my own computer. And that's when I guess I went through a pretty bad stage of my life there. Not because of being there, like just the circumstances that led me to being there. It was a very emotional time for me. Like I was quite unstable. So it just became an escape for me. And from then on, so like we're talking 15-ish, bit over, like somewhere between 15, 16 was when it really started. And I didn't address it until I was with Kim. So, you know, mid-20s at least, of just being like completely addicted to gaming. Like it just ruled my life. Like I'd take days off work. I'd just come up with any excuse to be on the computer. Like I just avoided everything. Like I was in a band before Iron Wizard, the one that I was the vocalist for. So that's how I met Tomo and Gumby. I was the bass player. And like my gaming addiction was that bad that I got kicked out of the band because I just stopped showing up to practices and because I was gaming. So like, you know, addictions can have a very fucking negative effect on your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I struggled with obviously games as well. and I've struggled with other things. We'll talk about some other things a bit later on, but yeah, that's the thing. It's a really hard. It's just like any other addiction, and what I mean by that is you shouldn't try and grade the type of addiction. So there's no such thing as this addiction's worse than this or this addiction's worse than this. They're all what they are. They're all addictions. It's just a matter of, that person's dealing with that type of addiction and they're struggling with that addiction. It doesn't mean that it's any easier or any harder than someone else going through another type of addiction. So I'm trying to be, I guess, really transparent there when I think about that. But yeah, in terms of gaming, it's an easy one too. It's accessible, like, computer, console, as long as you've got, you don't even need to have some internet. If you've got a console, doesn't even have to be a mega great computer or a great big console, like phone gaming. Like, dude, if you've got a phone, Crush. like Candy Crush, right? Massive.
That thing, yeah, exactly. Like, huge. Jesus.
Yep, absolutely.
I never got into that shit.
No, I didn't get into that either. But mind you, I was probably, balls deep in some console game at the time to be pissing around with Candy Crush. But yeah, so yeah, that's a tough one. It's a tough addiction, hard to overcome too. And I would say that I'm still working on it. There was there's a period over the last, over Christmas, the end of last year, as I've mentioned many times, I had a rough kind of, going to say 3 months there, really rough. And I, fell into a really bad, depression, and I didn't do anything else but game, because that was me not having to deal with my problems. That was me not having to go and fix things or solve things or deal with anything. All I had to do was focus on barely sleeping, waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, going to sleep at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, getting 5, maybe 6 hours of sleep a night if I'm lucky. And over the period of 2 months, I probably did that. I just sat at home, gamed all day. And
you know what they say though, like, you get that on the big jobs.
I haven't heard many people say that, actually. I feel like that's the first time I've ever heard anyone say that. I should use that.
I promised my mate Caleb that I would use it in an episode, and I just haven't had a chance to use it. And I was thinking about it today. Yeah. Oh, wait. I said Caleb, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Nah, Callum. Sorry.
Oh, Callum. Really? Yeah, right.
Yeah, we call him Big Sword because he's got a big sword. It's weird. Even his brother calls him that. That's okay. Impressive.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Callum. How's it going?
Poor bloke. Yeah. Probably had no idea you were going to call him out, but anyway.
I had no idea I was going to call him out on that, so... There was something else I promised him. There was like 2 sayings. I always used to drop it. He was the one that trained me. When I got my job at Coles, he was my trainer, and we clicked like straight away. First shift together. Like we were just like, are we best friends now? Because it was like it's 2 hour, just over 2 hour drive to get to the delivery that we had to do.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, so we were just like, what do you like? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, what do you like? And I don't know. Because it's stupid o'clock in the morning. And then we just happened to like, was like, I'm a nerd. And he's like, me too. And it was just like, boom, we were on. Like, it was just like a blah, 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 blah. So anyway, and he used to lose his shit because I just hit him with it all the time. I was just like, you get that on the big jobs. And it was just like my catchphrase was so long, and he'd just laugh every time I said it. He'd just drop it back at me all the time. So yeah, he's missing not hearing it. And there was something else, and I don't remember what the other one was, but I did promise him I'd say it.
Yeah,
it might have been fuck around and find out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Also, something that we use a lot.
Yeah. At least once every time I'm gaming with you, I get at least one of those.
Fuck
It's
around,
good.
find out.
Hmm.
Especially when they dive you on the tower and you're just like, oh, he fucked around, about to find out now.
Oh goodness. So overcoming this then, well, talk me through it because I know a little bit what you're talking about in terms of it affecting relationships, affecting things like that. Talk me through some of the things that you changed then, or things that you had to change. And was it easy? Was it hard? What was your sort of process? What did you do?
Well, so obviously this is what worked for me. It's not necessarily going to work for everyone else. Everyone's different, all that sort of shit. You know what I'm saying? So basically what I did initially was worked out like a thing with Kim where it was like, okay, so I'm going to have these dedicated nights to gaming and these dedicated nights to zero computer time at all. Put my phone away because like initially when I started trying to curb it, I just resorted to phone gaming. So she'd be like, let's spend the night watching a movie, cuddling on the couch. And I'm like, yep, cool. And I'd pull my phone out and start playing a game on my phone. So that was another argument. Fair, very fair. So it was like, just, these are my nights that I'm allowed to game. I can do whatever the fuck I want. But on these other nights, that no go. No phone, no computer. And some nights it was like no TV. It's like, let's go out and do something. Let's cook a meal. Let's just get you the fuck off of it because I needed it.
Yeah.
And it worked. Like it got to the point where, like, even on some days that it was a day that I was allowed to be on the computer, I'd be like, fuck it. Like, let's go do something. Like, I took up a sport, and so actually I'm wearing it now. It's like my beach volleyball shirt. So I took up indoor beach volleyball with Kim, and suddenly, 3 nights of the week, I was at the indoor beach volleyball court. And by the time I got home from that, I was like, well, let's have a shower, let's have a cuddle and go to bed. While I was addicted to gaming, like, I wouldn't have had a fucking chance at doing that because I would have been like, no, fuck no. Like, I want to stay at home and game. I don't want to go out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, I guess, finding alternative ways to distract yourself. It's one of those things too. It's like I can talk about this one. I haven't had a smoke, like an actual cigarette, for a week and a half now. And like, like they'd say like you need to be ready to quit. And it's the same with a gaming addiction. Like, if you don't actually want to do it, then you're not going to fucking do it.
Oh, yeah. I'm really glad you brought that up. Hey, that's a massive thing when it comes to addictions. And I'll talk a little bit about this when I talk about when we talk about drug addictions. But yeah, addictions in general, you yourself need to be ready because you can't, or someone, because people are trying to help you, or you're trying to get help from someone else. They can only tell you so much and help you so much and give you so much guidance. But at the end of the day, if you're not ready to do it yourself, you'll never do it. And that, I've been in that situation. I remember, and all right, let's start jumping. I guess I'll talk about a drug addiction. I remember.
Too fat to jump.
Yeah, you are. I'm just kidding. I was actually going to say, you look like you've lost weight. It might just be the shirt. It's a cool shirt.
I was going to say I look like I've gained weight. I feel fat in the face today.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I remember when I was quite heavily into smoking, and I was quite heavily into using and smoking pot, marijuana. And I remember I was like, and I was having, the same family side of things. Like, girlfriend at the time was just really like, give it a rest, right? Like, you don't have to be doing this 24 hours a day. I was like, fine. I'll do it. You're like, I'll just quit, cold turkey. And I went a month. But as soon as I got like a sniff, as soon as I knew that like I could, or I had a bad day, had like a really bad day, or I knew that I got to the end of the month and I was like trying to celebrate that, I was like, you know what? Now I can just go and do it. But it was so easy for me to just make that switch back because I wasn't ready in the first place. I wasn't okay with actually giving up in the first place. And that just backfires. So that's something to really be careful about if you are or you do have an addiction, whether that be drugs, gaming, fast food, anything of that sort. It's really important to keep that in mind that if you're not ready to do it, you're not going to be able to get there. So, and I say that in terms of like you will get there, but it's a matter of process. It's a matter of taking the steps, planning it out and actually really wanting it. So that's the biggest thing. Welcome back. I don't even want to know.
None of your fucking business.
Dave, it's fine. It's like I said, I don't want to know. I was having a perfectly great conversation with the listeners.
I had my headset. I could hear what you were saying.
Just kidding.
I said, yeah, so
no, great. Yeah, so no, you're right. You have to be ready. You really do. You have to be ready to do it. So, absolutely. Yes. So when I finally realized that I was ready, so let's take my drug addiction. It wasn't just that either. Like it was other things that I was. What are you doing? Poor listeners on Spotify are probably like, why do they keep stopping like halfway through a story to like talk about something else? Jump on the YouTube because you'll see the dumbass face that Christian pulls like 5 or 10 times in this podcast. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so when I was ready to stop or get over my addiction, it's kind of like you have to start slow. Well, I did. This is the way it worked for me anyway, and this is for a lot of addictions. So I'm talking gaming addictions, I'm talking drug addictions, I'm talking what are some other addictions I've had? I'm going to say food addictions too. There's been times where I've been addicted to fast food. I've been addicted to Uber Eats. Bitter. And chocolate milk. But we were. There was a time there where Uber Eats was daily, like 2 times a day. It got bad. It got bad. I can't remember. I don't know. I was probably off my head at the time. That probably coincides as well with there was 2 addictions not going well at all, masking way too many problems. Terrible part of my life. Anyway, but when I was ready, you just got to. I took the slower steps. So it was a matter of, okay, what does my habit look like? It was about breaking the habit, and that's like yeah, right. It's the habit. That's the issue. That's the problem. It's the habit. It's the okay. I woke up with my day. I had my breakfast, coffee, or whatever it was. Usually, my breakfast was let's do some drugs. You know what I mean? That's breakfast. And then as soon as you get home from work, the same as what you said from like, gaming. As soon as you get home from work, bang, straight on the computer. As soon as I got home from work, bang, straight into doing the drugs. So it's about breaking the habit. So instead of just going, okay, cold turkey, let's just drop it. Let's just get rid of this whole entire thing straight away. Similar to your thing as well. You're like, okay, I'm not going to go to cold turkey. I'm going to set out specific days that I'm going to go and actually do it. And I did the same thing. I went, all right, I'm not going to wake up in the morning and do it. I'm just going to save it for after work. I'm going to spend the whole entire day sober. Okay. That goes back, alcohol and even, nicotine as well. That sort of thing. When I was, trying to give up smoking, that was another thing I did. I went, right, fine. I'll go the day. I'll reward myself at the end of the night. You're not rewarding yourself with the bad thing. You're rewarding yourself for breaking your habit.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. So don't feel like you're rewarding yourself with with the bad thing. You're rewarding yourself for breaking the habit. And so the more and more you do that, the easier it was to start doing it more and more. So then I was able to go, okay, now I can go a day Now I can go 2 days. Now I can go 3 days. All of a sudden, I started ramping up to a week. And all of a sudden, I got myself to a month. When I got to a month, I went, okay, I'm going to take myself back again. And then I'm going to plan for this. So that's what I did. I went, right, it's been a month now. Now I'm going to go for 3. Now, once I got to 3, I knew that if I could get to a year, I wouldn't go back. And that's what happened. And I knew that once I got to a year, I would be able to make it a choice. And what I mean by that is when you're in recovery, or we call it recovery or whatever, whatever you want to call it. When you're trying to get over an addiction, there's relapse. You have relapse. You have times where you go, shit, I've had a really fucked day. I need it. I need my fix. I need, whatever it is. I need to go game. I need to go eat. I need to do drugs. I need to do whatever it is. So that whole idea, I completely just lost my train of thought. How awesome is that? Yeah, pew, 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 it's gone. So yeah, relapses, they can happen. I knew that once I got to a year, that wasn't going to be a problem anymore. So, what I mean by that is you get like a month in, 2 months in, you have a really bad day, and then one of your mates comes over, they've got drugs. One of your mates goes, let's go get some fucking fast food. One of your mates goes, let's game for, a whole week straight, or whatever it is. Doesn't matter, whatever the addiction is. It's easy to just go straight away, bang, straight back into it,
Yeah.
Without it even a second thought. But yeah, I knew once I got to a year, I was going to be okay. And since then, I can now be around any of my past addictions, whatever they might have been, and I can be around them, be tempted by them, but just it doesn't faze me. That's such a thanks, man. It's such an awesome. The only reason I'm saying this is just because if you're listening, if you're watching, and you're going, shit, I really am like I struggle with an addiction. I just want you to know that when you get to the other side of it, there is no better feeling than looking back and going, you know what? 6 months ago, I would have jumped straight back on that train. But now, today, with all the hard work that I've done, it doesn't faze me. So then that's a really good thing. That's such a great feeling to have. So it's worth it in the end.
Yeah. And like, I was making fun of you just briefly before when you were talking about your food addiction, and I was like, bit of chalky milk. I was heavily addicted to iced coffee, and like it wasn't iced coffee, it was ice breaks. I was so fucking addicted to ice breaks for a long time. And yet again, Kim was like, "Oi, you're being a real fat shit. Like you were wasting so much money." And I'm lactose intolerant as well. So like I wasn't pissing money away. I was shitting money away. It was bad. I would go to work and I'd get if they were like, your 2 for specials, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to get 2 500ml ice breaks for the day. Or, well, guess what? The 750 mils are on special. So I'm getting 2 for the day. And by the time you get to the second one, it's warm.
You don't care.
So, no. And then I'd get home. The worst part about it was that, like, when I tried to curb it, it got worse. So, like, I'd say to Kim, like, all right, I'm going to buy, like, a 2-liter bottle of iced coffee, and it's going to be in the fridge, and that's all I'm going to have. And so, I'd get up in the morning and I'd have my little glass of iced coffee. I'm like, yep, cool. And then I'd get home in the afternoon and have a little glass. But on the way to work, I'm stopping at the servo every goddamn day and picking up fucking ice breaks, and I'd like throw them out at work so that she didn't fucking see it. Or like I'd drink a 750 on the way to work. I'd get one at Smoko, and then I'd get one after work for the drive home, and then I'd have iced coffee in the fridge at home too. Like it was bad. So like, yeah, food addictions are a thing.
Well, yeah, food, caffeine addictions, like massive. Like, I know a lot of people struggle with like energy drinks, things like that. So easy to put down. And I don't mean put down and leave. I mean like put it down your throat. Like it's just, yeah. And the effects though, like, so not only like, you know, family, but like work as well. And I'm talking about like all addictions. Seriously, like, you
I
know,
lost a lot of production time in the
yeah,
toilet.
yeah. Well, that's it. And you know, I remember when I was, you know, heavily on the drugs and stuff like that. You know, it gets so bad. It gets to a point where you're at work and you're doing it. You're at work in the bathroom putting it up your nose. Like that's what it gets.
Thing?
That's what it gets to.
Did
Look,
you do that?
look, I'm not. I'm not going to say the company that I worked for at the time,
Obviously.
but obviously, I worked as a I'll just say a salesman. I was working in sales, and we worked in an office environment. Anyway, sometimes you'd have to do overtime on the weekend. Now, the way it worked was you got paid for a set amount of hours that you were going to do. And you had so much work that you needed to get done in that, say, I think it was like 5 hours or something. But if you got that work done before the 5 hours, you could go and you would still get paid for the 5 hours. So, yeah, we basically made it our mission to get our work done in half the time. And what better way to get your work done in half the time than to give yourself a little bit of a boost?
Bit of the old booger sugar.
Not healthy.
Beers.
Yeah, not healthy. Stupidly expensive. You know, like, so. And then the problems are like the fallback. You know, you got work problems. You know, the money problems, which then, you know, can cause family problems and issues like that. So, look, addictions are rough and they're hard. They're hard to get over. They're in no way easy. Any type of addiction. So it's just a matter of just taking those steps. Ask for help. Help is. I wouldn't have been able to, you know, get over mine without help. And I say that in the most sincere way. I had a great support network that, you know, for a long time I thought I don't have that. I don't have that support network. No one's gonna, you know, help me. But it's not that no one will help you. You've got to find the people that will. Because there are people or people in your life who will put aside all the judgment and everything, and they will help you. Unfortunately, that's not going to be everyone. Unfortunately, there are going to be some people who, you know, in your life who aren't going to agree with the things that you've done, and they're not going to be able to help you because they're not going to be able to see past the mistake. But there are some people that will, and yeah, I'm forever thankful for those who did help me through the time that I went through. Long time ago now. This is, gosh, we're like 4 years ago now. Is that a long time? I don't know. Feels like a long time for me. Feels like a lifetime. I don't know. That's a fair amount of time.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Oh, thanks. I thought I was doing really well.
I'm older than you by a good chunk, though. Like, once you get over 30, like, time just starts fucking flying. So, like, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're like, fuck, whatever, it's nothing. Like, you know, I was married for 8 years and, you know, didn't really feel like that long. So, and then, like, you think about, like, you know, these sorts of stories and shit where, like, oh, yeah, when I was 18, and you're like, wait a fucking minute. That's a long time ago. That's like 16 years ago. Like, holy shit. I feel like my math is off. I think it's like fucking.
Oh, yeah, it would have to be because that was 10 years ago for me.
I'm 35 this year. So, what did I say? 18. So, that's 12. Why can't I math?
I don't know. I'm not trying to do it for you either. I'm blank-faced.
There's a fucking story there.
Why can't you math?
Yeah.
I
said
all right,
those words one day. I was stoned off my tits. I was so stoned off my tits. And it involves Callum. So I went back to Queensland to celebrate Christmas. So we all get together for Christmas, my mates and I, and we do Dutchmas. And so I went back for that. We all watch The Predator and get really, really drunk, and do hot sauces. And so anyway, I went to hang out with Callum and his family, and I won't throw the person under the bus, but someone gave me a brownie for Christmas, and I was like, oh yes, this is very nice. And I was like, I'm not a rookie. Like, I've done drugs. I've done some fucking good drugs too. Like, Jesus. I was like, I'll take it easy. Like, I'll go easy on myself. So I had like a little bite, like a fucking minuscule bite off the corner. And I'm like, yep, this will be fine. It wasn't. It wasn't fine. It rolled me. It rolled me so goddamn fucking hard. Like, it gave me the full body stone and it blew my fucking mind. I ended up sitting on the sand dune at the beach and just completely just... And Callum's sitting there next to me. Like, he's sober as a judge. And he's just like, you're right, dude. And I was just like... I just turned to him and I was like, I can't math. And he was like, what? I was like, I can't math. I remember trying to count something up in my head and I just couldn't fucking do it. The numbers were gibberish. Yeah, good story there. I couldn't math.
That is a good story. I can't think of any stupid stories because I've forgotten them. That's,
17 years ago.
17 years ago. The excitement in your face is the best part about that whole thing.
Oh, God damn it. I feel a clip.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I feel the clip coming on. Yeah, forgot where I was going to go with that. Oh, you can't remember. Yeah, anyway, side effect of the addictions I've had, memory loss. So
short-term memory loss. Go.
Short-term. Yep. Anyway, disappeared. But no, look, we've had a great chat about some addictions, some of our personal addictions, and just some, there's no blueprint. I guess that's what I've gotten out of what we've talked about. Hey, there's no blueprint to get over or overcome or get clean or go clean. It's going to be different per person. You really got to go and find what's going to work for you. But just know there's going to be a process. There's people there that can help you, whether that be professional or whether that just be some, people who are close with you. There's going to be people that can help, and it's just going to take time. And just reward yourself. That's a big one for me. And like, I know it sounds dumb, but you don't have to don't go and reward yourself with the addiction, like necessarily. But you know what I mean. Like, but go and reward yourself for doing so well, even if it is just a day. If you stop doing your addiction for a day, go and reward yourself for it, in whatever way that might be. Go and do something for yourself, because a day is a big thing. It really is, because a day turns into 2, turns into weeks, turns into months, turns into years, and that's how it snowballs. But you've got to make the first step. No one else can make that.
Something different to you.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Sorry,
good one.
I cut you off there.
No, that's perfect. That's a really good one. That's a good one. I'm just thinking about all the other terms now going through my head. Anyway, yeah, take the first step. You got to take the first step. You got to be the person to take the first step. Once you've taken the first step, then some other people can help you. It gets easier, but taking the first step, I guess, is almost going as far as to say is admitting to yourself that you want to change. You want to make the change. That then we spoke about that earlier. That's the biggest thing. You need to be the one that wants to make the change, and if you don't, you're not going to do it. No matter how hard you try, no matter how many people help you, no matter how many great things you've got going on around to help you get there, if you don't want to change, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like admitting that first part, it's like, you know what, this is negatively affecting me, and I want to make a positive change. That's your first step. Like accepting that you have a problem at the moment.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm going to keep rambling on here. It's going to be hard. Like you're probably thinking, oh, I don't want to do it because it's going to be hard. It's going to be fucking hard, and it's going to break the fucking shit out of you. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Like I do, I really do. But it's going to be tough. You're going to have some shit fucking days, and but lots of people probably tell you there's light at the end of the tunnel, but it's because it's true. It's because it is. And we're going to give you one more story, I think, before we wrap up, because otherwise this episode's going to end up like last week's, bloody an hour and 15-minute long. All right. I took the first step, admitted that I had a problem with lots of different addictions and things. Anyway, I made the first step, took the first step, looked at, ways that I could get help, looked at different things that I could do. So I'm not going to go into details of what that was for me, but went and took those steps. Not long, didn't take long, but after that I was, I don't know, more in a clearer mind. I'm going to say I had more of a sober mind. I decided to, change my career around. And I decided to go to uni as a middle-aged student and change my life. So I know, not middle-aged student. I was still young, not really middle-aged. I felt, I felt middle-aged, right? You go like, okay, so you go to uni and you're just surrounded by like 17, 18-year-olds, and I'm like 6, 7 years older than these kids. You feel like you're in your 30s and your 40s. It's bad. Anyway, but point is, putting that aside, so things start getting better and better as it goes on. What? What is funny? What are you laughing at?
When you like put it to the side, I was like, yeah, let's shelve it.
Let's shelve it. You're a shocker. Anyway, that's fine. It's fine. I think I got my point across. There's just going to be a heap of silence on the Spotify on the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch the YouTube at 47 minutes to find out why there was a silence.
Can I tell my story?
You tell your story.
Okay. Right. So I was just thinking about it when you said that, you dropped a few expletives. Is that the right word?
Expletives? Is it expletives? Swear words.
Yeah, you cussed. You
I did cuss.
Bitch. Anyway,
Awful.
You were like, oh, it's going to be fucking hard shit, eh? That's what you sound like.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be fucking hard shit, eh? Yeah, okay.
Is
that what it sounded like?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all.
Oh, right, okay. That's all right.
I put that voice on all the fucking time. You never talk like that.
Try not to.
So
I'm educated.
When you were saying fucking Melbourne. When you were saying how hard it's going to be,
yes.
Like one of those things, like I was like, oh yeah, fuck, I remember that. So when I was trying to quit the ice breaks, the fucking sugar and caffeine withdrawals were real.
Yep.
Excruciating headaches.
Yeah.
Absolutely excruciating headaches.
How fucked are the headaches?
And like just hungry all the time because I'm lactose intolerant. Like I was just bloating myself on milk. So I wouldn't eat food. I'd just drink. And it was like when I stopped drinking them, I went cold turkey eventually. Like when Kim found out how much ice breaks I was actually sneaking, I was just like, nah, fuck it. Done. And yeah, just the fucking sugar withdrawals. Like my body hurt, my fucking head hurt. I was like, my energy levels were all over the place, and I was just fucking hungry. Like, so yeah, that shit's hard.
It's a massive pain in our head.
You said the name in the show.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is. It really is. The headaches are awful. Withdrawals are awful. The sleep as well. Like, you're not going to get a lot of sleep. You are not going to get a lot of sleep. And this goes for many different addictions too. Obviously caffeine addictions, drug addictions, even food addictions, gaming addictions as well. Because your mind as well, like your mind's so used to being active for such a long period of time, cutting that away, yeah, you're not going to sleep well. So mood swings, you're going to be cranky. Just be patient. Be fucking patient with yourself, because you're going to get on your own fucking nerves. I know I did. So yeah. Anyway, this is great. Look, I knew this was we were going to have so much to talk about. It's such a important topic, especially when it comes to mental health. I think that addictions are an effect of some mental health, like some poor mental health that's going on. So just bear in mind too, like you don't want to fall into that either. So just look after yourself. I hope you're doing okay. If you're listening, reach out to your networks if you have to, and obviously as well, check the podcast description. There's all those awesome links. Go and check them out if you do need some help, because there's probably a fair few trigger warnings in some of the things we've just talked about. So yeah, go and use those links. But we're going to have a quick word from our sponsors, and then we're going to hit you with some awesome music. So we'll be back in a moment. The Pain in Our Head podcast is proudly sponsored by Music Magic Co. and Brisbane rock band The Flying Circus. Visit the links in the podcast description for more information. Back to the show. Welcome back to the Pain in Our Head podcast. This week we were talking about addictions. Lots of different addictions, talked about different ways that we've overcome them, talked about different addictions that we've dealt with in the past, and great conversations that we had, and as well as the mental health effects that it has, the other effects in terms of work and family, those sort of things that it can affect as well. So it was really great. But now we're going to chat about some music, as we always do, and great songs today. We've got a mix. But you do. I really like your song. I think it matches, or it fits really well with everything we've been talking about. We just spoke about the lyrics before, and mine's a great one too. So crack in, as I've been saying this episode.
Crack on. I'm just copy pasting the lyrics because the screen that they're on is white as shit and it's just blinding me. So I'm just sending them to you.
Great.
Anyway, so my song for this week ties directly into my addictive behavior that I had, and that was gaming and being heavily addicted to World of Warcraft. My song is I Play WoW by Jace Hall. And it's meant to be funny. It's meant to be like a parody, I guess, of like what people see as a typical WoW player. WoW being World of Warcraft. But it's too real. Too real for me. I was just talking to Caleb in the break, and one of the verses is, no one seems to get it, but that's all right. My girl keeps bitching, complaining, and starting fights. She wants to cuddle, watch movies in the candlelight, but Wednesdays through Fridays are strictly raid nights. And that was me. And it's like, and even like it follows straight on to when I'm down or depressed, I go connect. My real friends are online fighting to the death. And that's real as shit for me. And sorry.
That's okay.
Got a notification.
It's fine. It just adds to the minutes that I'm going to compile.
Yeah.
On our 100th episode, I'm going to we're going to release a 10-minute snippet. I promise.
Not my fault. Got my phone on silent. It popped up in the bottom of the screen. I haven't turned like Facebook notifications off on the browser. So while I've got the browser open, I still get Facebook like notifications, and it just like popped up straight there. I was just like,
Look, it's fine. It's fine. It's the nature of recording a podcast over the internet, which is awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to my song. Yeah. So that was my life. It was, just I had dedicated nights that I was like, nope, nothing else fucking matters. I'm playing World of Warcraft. And yeah, it's a catchy song. And for those of us that have played World of Warcraft, you possibly can relate to it a little bit, or just have a fucking laugh because it's funny and it's not metal. It's stupid.
No, it's not metal, is it?
No. I don't always listen to metal.
No, you don't. No, yeah. Well, I only listen to a small snippet, so it's more it's more of a, I guess, a rap hip hop.
Yeah, like
kind of piss take.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, check it out. Jace Hall. I play WoW. I'm going to listen to the whole thing later, so I'm keen to listen to it. I can't believe I've never heard it before.
Old.
Yeah, I guess, but I wasn't really heavily into WoW, so I mean, that wouldn't have come up on my YouTube suggested, I suppose. Yeah. Great. That's excellent. Great song.
What's yours?
My song.
Oh,
all right. No one does. My songs are crap. I listen to the same shit.
It's probably fucking because I got high by Afro Jack or whatever his fucking name is.
Because I got high. I used to listen to that a lot when I got high. No, we did.
Oh my God,
we did.
That's cringe.
It's so cringe. Yeah, we were very cringe. There was a lot of things that we used to listen to. Yeah, I used to listen to a lot of. Actually, this is okay. Kind of like off topic a little bit. So, going clean, there were some things that I couldn't do anymore because, like, during the period of, like, let's say in that first year, that I couldn't do anymore because it would remind me and it would be a trigger for me wanting to come back to those bad habits. So gaming was one of those things. I used to associate a lot of the time when I would do, like, some drugs, I would then go and game. So I would associate those two things together. So especially in the first 6 months, I couldn't game. And that was really hard because I couldn't game. Otherwise it was going to be a trigger. And I know we're supposed to be talking about music, and I was going to get there as well because music. There was music I couldn't listen to. There was songs and different types of music that I couldn't listen to because I just had associated my bad addictions with those type of songs. And I just couldn't listen to them. If we want to talk about some artists, I was really heavily into Eminem. So I couldn't listen to Eminem. Even like, some Bliss and Esso, Hilltop Hoods. I used to listen to a lot of hip hop and rap. Especially back then. So, yeah, I couldn't listen to all that stuff. So, interesting. Just a kind of side note. Yeah. Anyway, my song. I think I spoke about Bad Flower last week. I'm sorry to bring them up again. I can't get away from them. I don't know. It's an addiction. I'm addicted. I am addicted to listening to Bad Flower at the moment. I really am. I've already said it a million times. I'm so excited to go and see them in the middle of the year. Anyway, one of their songs is called X Anna X. And it's a fantastic song. It's a great song. It's quite it's kind of a funny kind of piss take on the whole idea. The whole idea is about being prescribed or taking anxiety medication, and in this instance, it's Xanax. I think conveniently enough, when you merge the title together, X Anna X, Xanax. And look, it's a great song. It's really trippy. It's a bit trippy. And when I say trippy, I mean like it's it's not just the same type of production the whole way through. So there's a lot of points in the song where it'll just be talking, like over some like weird kind of background kind of synths and things like that, rather than just your generic structured, like, I don't know, pop rock song that's just like, verse, chorus, that kind of thing. So it's got those weird little bits in it, which I just think are really, really cool. Some of the lyrics are fantastic as well. As I said, like, it talks about, taking of particular drugs to get over anxiety, to get over depression, and they kind of piss take about it, and how, they say that you should take this sort of stuff, it'll help with your anxiety and depression, and then, but at the same time, you're getting addicted to a type of drug, and then it, worsens or heightens your addiction. So the themes that it's talking about there, I think, really correlate to what we've been talking about. And what my favorite, I was going to talk about my favorite lyric, and just before one of the big drops in the song, and it's kind of more like just a spoken line, and in it he goes, "Hey, want to see what happens when I mix Xanax, blow, and a MacBook Pro?" And then it just goes, it just drops, and it goes into a heap of the music, and that I really like that, because I'm massively into my music production and my mixing and that sort of thing, and thinking about, I never did that sort of thing when I was doing my music production and that kind of thing. But you think about it, and you think about the long nights I used to stay up all night trying to do mixes and that sort of thing. You'd think, a little bit of help would have probably gone a long way to help me stay awake, whether that be caffeine or, as you called it, booger sugar.
Nose beers.
So, yeah, but it's fantastic. Great song. Go give it a listen. That's X Anna X by Bad Flower. Really, really cool.
Listen to it.
Yeah, look, give it a listen. Really great song. It's fun. It is fun. I was going to mention too, I forgot, but you brought it up, and you brought it up earlier, and I really want to remember what it was, because I wanted to say something about it, and I've completely forgotten.
I brought up a lot.
You have brought up a lot.
Brought up some real strong feelings.
Yeah, Bugger. Look, I've completely forgotten, unfortunately. But it was, I don't know, something to do with something we said before, and I had a really important thing to say about it, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna be stupid and but I couldn't be fucked. I think I've said enough shit.
We've talked about a fair bit of stuff. Yeah, look, music chat was quite short today.
Didn't you have a second song?
Oh, I mean, I can talk about another Bad Flower song if you really want me to. They do have another song called Heroin. And I'll quickly go into it, but the thing I like about that song, and I mean, while it is called Heroin, I like the kind of things that it talks, like that the song talks about, in terms of it does a bit of some really nice wordplay. So the way that they, I guess, they do the lyrics in this song is they talk about, they compare heroin to, I guess a relationship, and so they talk about like she, so like, to read some lyrics, it's like, she's in my head again, she knows where I have been, I'm going down that road again. So it's a really cool way of them twisting both the use of drugs, or the use of heroin in this particular case, and then tying it in with, I guess, a little bit of a love addiction as well, or kind of a relationship. It's just really intelligent songwriting, in my opinion. So yeah, quite a good song too. So all right, look, they're both from the same album. They're both from the OK I'm Sick album. Go listen to the whole album, because I fucking love it. I'm very biased, but yeah. So those two songs, Heroin and X Anna X by Bad Flower, they're really good, really great songs about talking about addiction, things like that. Yeah.
There's oh my god, there's a song.
Is there?
Yeah. Fucking drugs. Frenzal Rom. When my baby smiles at me, I'm going to rehab.
Oh, that's a powerful line. Or is that the name of the song?
That's the song.
That's the name of the song. Yeah. Wow. Yep. Okay. I haven't heard it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, okay. Thanks
Catchy as shit.
Thanks for letting everyone know about it. I'll bring it up because I'll add both of mine. We'll add both of yours to the Spotify playlist. We're going to say it again. I think we said it last week. We've got a Spotify playlist now. It's called the Pain in Our Head podcast music playlist, and we add all of the music that we chat about onto that playlist. So if you're interested in having a listen to these songs and can't be bothered going and finding them, go and check out the playlist. It's in the description and on the YouTube, all that sort of thing. So what's it called again? I'm going to look it up.
When my baby smiles at me, I'm going to rehab.
I'm going to rehab by Frenzal Rom.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
They're Australian.
Yeah. Okay. Really awesome.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about an Australian band yet, so do it.
Yes, we have.
Have we?
SNSO and Hilltop Hoods, you fucking idiot. Fucking hell.
My apologies. We have.
Yeah.
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 I'm a dickhead.
Yeah, I'll agree. Anyway, the guitarist was a Triple J presenter.
Oh, okay.
I want to say Lindsay was his name.
Okay. Like I can't find the band members. Jason Whaley is the lead singer. There we go. Members. Doing some live research for you, everybody. There you go. What did you say? Guitarist? Yeah. Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lindsay McDougall.
McDougal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lindsay McDougal was a Triple J presenter.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, cool. Well, go check out that song. We're gonna put it on the playlist. I was gonna pick one more song too. A song that I listened to while I was trying to recover. Not Afraid by Eminem. What? Oh, I know it's cliche, but it's a good song.
It's a shit song.
You don't like it? I didn't. I didn't like it until I was trying to recover.
Yeah, but whatever floats you go, whatever gets you through the day.
But no, it wasn't one of my favourites. Like at all. Like I would always skip it if it ever came up. But when I was trying to recover, no, I think because I really actually listened to what it was about, and I was like, oh shit, I kind of can relate to this now. I don't know. Interesting. Fantastic. Well, look. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking around and listening to us babble on about all of this sort of crap. But it's been great. It's been awesome. This has been a topic I've wanted to talk about for a while. This was probably an idea for the podcast that I came up with first. This is probably the first episode I ever came up with, and we obviously didn't. This is number 8, so it's not first, but. Yeah, I came up with this idea a long time ago, and I think this whole the recovery and everything that I went through in terms of that that kind of stemmed the whole idea for the podcast. So this whole podcast was originally created from those experiences that I went through in terms of this topic, in terms of addictions. So yeah, I'm really pleased we were able to finally talk about it. Thank you for listening, and thank you for all your comments and your interaction as well. We really do appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. Next week we're talking about
be selfish.
Be selfish. What a great topic. Yeah, we're going to talk about how selfish Christian is. Can't wait. All right. Well, until next time, it's okay to not be okay.
Wow. Yeah.